In the beginning was the deed, calling now to become another deed. Reflections on the 5 day lectures on the Eucharist given to diploma and licensate students at Sannyasa Institute of Consecrated Life, Bangalore by Reverend Father Dr. Paulson Vellianur, CMF from 15th to 19th September 2025. From the very beginning, human hearts long for love, meaning, and the living presence of God. Yet desires often imitate others, leading to rivalry, conflict, and pain. History and culture show that sacrifice arose to bring peace, transform violence into life, and guide us toward harmony, however, at the cost of someone's life. In the Eucharist, we encounter a new form of sacrifice, the ultimate act of self gift offered in freedom and love to nurture the life of the other. The Gospel of Mark, Matthew, and Luke tells us that Jesus took bread, blessed it, broke it, and gave it, saying, "This is my body." Then he took the cup, saying, "This is my blood," calling his disciple to do this in remembrance of him. The Gospel of John presents Jesus humbly washing the disciples' feet like a slave, teaching that true greatness comes through humble service. The Eucharist and foot washing together reveal Christ's total self giving, reminding us that to serve others with humility is to live the Eucharist in action. The Eucharist is both the table and the towel act. It calls us to be present with Christ and to serve others by following his example. The Eucharist invites us first to the table, where we receive Christ as food and are drawn into communion with him and one another. Here we learn the mystery of divine intimacy to contemplate, to adore, and to be transformed into his very body. Yet the table always leads us to the towel, the humble service of washing the feet of others. To eat his body means to share our own lives, to bend down in love, and to recognize the face of Christ in the fragile and forgotten. The table without the towel becomes selfish devotion, and the towel without the table becomes empty service. Together, they form the heart of the Eucharistic life. Adoration that overflows into service, and service that is nourished by adoration. Vita Consecrata is the apostolic exhortation of Pope John Paul II, published in 1996, which addresses the life and mission of consecrated persons in the Church, highlighting the special importance of the Eucharist in their occasion. Consecrated life finds its center and strength in the Eucharist, which is both food for our journey and daily source of communion. To profess the evangelical counsel is to live Eucharistically, obedience as a holocaust of love, chastity as a body given in total gift, and poverty as a banquet of life in common. The Eucharist unites consecrated persons in fraternity, sends them in mission, and configures them to Christ who is broken and poured out for the world. In this way, consecrated life becomes a living anamnesis of Christ, a prophetic sign of communion, and a radiant anticipation of the kingdom. To live the Eucharist daily is to become, with joy and hope, a humble presence of Christ's love at the heart of the Church, in the peripheries of the world. For Saint Anthony Maria Claret, the Eucharist was his first and greatest love, the source of every grace and his missionary zeal. It nourished him like a child at the breast of a loving mother, sustaining his body, spirit, and missionary courage. He also recognized the inseparable link between Mary and the Eucharist, as she always leads us to her Son. Claret inspires us to become living tabernacles, carrying Christ within and sharing his love with the world. The Eucharist is not only celebrated on the altar but lived daily. Christ calls us not just to repeat the ritual but to repeat his life through ours. To live Eucharistically is to become bread for the hungry and wine of joy for the sorrowful. We are invited not only to receive Christ but to become Christ for the world. Jesus' words, "Do this in remembrance of me," invite us to celebrate and live the Eucharist every day. Let us be the Eucharist by the power of the Eucharist.